Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Butte Mountain Homestead. Today's video is going to be a little bit of mishmash of everything because I have a lot of indoor projects because the winds yesterday were up to 40 mile an hour and today they're pretty gusty too. Not up to 40. But anyways, my to-do list for this weekend is quite extensive and I made it be indoor projects. I realized I left you guys hanging on making the poultry seasoning last week from dehydrating the herbs, so I will show you that in just a little bit. I finally got the sage to dry. It was super fresh, so it took a long time to dry. I might end up having to use some of my stuff that's already dried just for the sake of this video. But right now I'm going to show you a thrift haul that I did at two stores. One was Goodwill and the other was Salvation Army. And I'm going to try to make it quick, but it's, you know, the usual stuff, but there's some treasures in there. Anyways, I like picking up these little bags because they're good for doing little hostess gifts or just providing a little gift to someone. And then Christmas tins. Oh, there's a glare there. I like the vintage looking ones or kind of Victorian. And then this one was $69. I think that one was 49 cents. So, and I just clean them out and line them with wax paper or tissue paper to do little candies or something. Again, for another little gift idea. This cute little Christmas scene tray. I think it was $2.75. Yeah, $2.75. And I do everything on my bed because that's the flattest surface. I bought this wreath not for any of this business that's coming off. I bought it strictly for the wreath form. And then these two little ones. And I'm a sucker for little wooden boxes. This one I think was $3.99. And let's see. Oh, pie plates. I was needing 2 extra pie plates so that I didn't have to buy the little ones. I was wanting the big 9 or 9.5 inch deep dish pie plates. So these are both 9.5 inches deep dish pie plates. They've already been washed. But this one's Pampered Chef. It was $5.49. This was at Goodwill. And then this is a Pyrex 100-year anniversary, something like that. It was also $5.49. So I realized I hadn't made this video yet, so I had to dig out of the cupboard. And then just some winter clothing. This really nice hand-embroidered winter sweater. It's a hand wash and air dry flat. So that was okay. This cute little quilted vest, I realized I was trying to look it up online because it's by North Style. And it's no longer on their website, but Poshmark had quite a few of them. But the jackets run about, or I'm sorry, the vest run a normal price up towards $55. I also saw from the pictures that there's buttons missing, but I'm not going to be wearing it as a buttoned vest, so that's okay there. And let's see, this pretty browns and teal sweater. And let's see, get this stuff out of the way. This blouse, Ralph Lauren. It had one little stain that I'm working on, but it'll be okay. And then just 3 different skirts. A longer, I'm into skirts this year for some reason. But so this longer gray one I can wear with like the calf boots. And then this shorter one, yesterday I wore that one with gray leggings and a top, and then like a little boyfriend sweater from American Eagle. That looked really cute. And then this one I'll wear with brown leggings. I have a bluish gray shirt. And then I'll wear the gray, like I said, gray leggings and gray boots. And then this garden, well, it's not really garden, but it's, I mean, I'm going to use it in the garden. I don't like the gold, but out in the garden I don't care. $3.75. That was at Salvation Army. And then these pillow covers, these were $2 each because I have outdoor pillows. So these are that outdoor material. This one and that one. So anyways, yeah, this was a really great haul. I think all of it was think under $60. I think it was more like $55 for all of this, which isn't too bad. It's the clothing. Everything is going up, even at the thrift stores. So, and then hang tight and I'll show you another project that I'm working on. And on these wreath forms, I will show you in a video in the next week or two of what I'm going to do with them. My DIY little projects for little Christmas gifts for hostess or friends. So just hang tight for that. I'm hoping to get that into not this Monday's video, but the following Monday's video. That way it's still before Christmas. So if it inspires anyone to go out and get them. I don't know if these were Dollar Tree originally or what, but I think they were 75 cents at Salvation Army. And this I think was $1.49 or $2.49 at Goodwill. But I wasn't able to find these smaller sizes at like Walmart. That's the closest little store we have. Hobby Lobby and Michael's, those types of stores are a little ways away, and I wasn't going to drive all the way there just for a few wreath forms, so I found them there and picked them up. Another item I've been working on is I noticed that plaid is still around this year for winter or Christmas season, and I had a whole bolt of flannel plaid in my sewing cabinet, and then I had, I don't know exactly what this was. It was about the size of a throw blanket. And I've just always carded it around. So I knew I wanted that to be the back to this pillow sham. And I wanted it a little bit bigger than the ones that have been on there. Because these pillows are so thick. So I just basically measured and cut it out. I did 2 pieces of this and 2 pieces of this. 2 of the pillow, I guess, inlay, because this is what happens. So you tuck the pillow in there so it doesn't show the pillow. So I won't be showing how I sew it because yesterday this prototype, or trying to come up with this, doing the gathers on the machine, you know, making the ruffle, pinning it, all that business, it took a very long time. So today, now that these are cut out, shouldn't take me as long. And you know, you have to kind of think things when you're not following pattern. It's like, how's this going to turn out? I don't want to have to rip it out and start it over. But yeah, you just do that. So what I do first is I'm going to attach these together. I'll do the machine gathering. My mother-in-law actually showed me how to do that because I've always just hand sewn a basting stitch and then hand gathered, but she showed me how to do it on the sewing machine. I used hers because mine is broken and I need to get it into the shop to get it fixed. So then I attach that to this piece, and then after that I attach this on the wrong, I attach this right side up on the wrong side of this, so that basically it sits. It's hard to do one-handed. I should have set up the tripod like that, and then the ruffles all the way around. Then I put the back on right sides together, stitch it, and then turn it all inside out. So that's what I'm going to be working on today to finish it. And they turned out really cute. Really cute. And what I plan on doing, because we always have a tree in our room, is I have enough, sorry about the glare, but I always have enough material, or we always have a Christmas tree in our room, and I have enough material left over, is that I'm going to make a chain garland. I'll do strips of paper, and then I'll do either glue stick or Elmer's glue to attach the material to them, and then make a chain garland. So I think it'll turn out really cute. I will try to get that filmed as well so that you can see it all tied in together. It'll be part of our Christmas tour. I'll show parts of our, room that are decorated. But anyways, that's one of the projects that I'm working on. I will show you when it's all done and the bed is all made up. Okay, so here is the dried marjoram. See, it didn't do very much, which is fine. And then here's the dried thyme. And what I do is I just pull it off the stems. I'm putting it in a bowl. The recipe that I'm using for one serving doesn't call for really that much. So I'm separating everything out. And then what I do is I save some of the, I've already did it, so I'm not going to do a whole bunch more. Is it for my broth bag that I keep in the freezer? I usually save like these little twigs. I don't save the big ones. See, I save the little guys. I just throw a few of these in my broth bag, and that way it gives the flavor of this is thyme. So I'm going to do that to all of these. Oh, and then here's the sage. Here's the sage. These still have a little bit of moisture to them. See if I can show you. A little bit of moisture to them. They don't really crunch like, let's see. This one crunches. It's going to get all over my floor. Some of these are still, they don't want to crunch very much. So I'm going to pick, and you can tell the difference in the color also. Some of these lighter ones still have a lot of moisture in them. And I've already ran this for 3 days. And it sat yesterday just drying without it running. So I'm going to have to just let it keep sitting out till they're dry. But see, they're not wanting to crumble. They're still bendy. So I'm going to pick out the ones that are dry, use some that I already have, and then when I get all the bowls ready to go, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm following sort of a recipe I took off of Pinterest, and I've eliminated some of the items that are on there just because I don't want that flavor. One of them calls for lemon peel, and which I have because a friend of mine gave me 3 large bags of Meyer lemons this last winter, and I juiced all of them, and then instead of wasting the rinds, I dehydrated the lemon peels. That stuff's expensive in the store. When you start making your own stuff that you normally wouldn't buy and you see it in the store, like the tomato powder, holy smokes. But and then once I did the peeled, then I took the rest of it and I soaked them in vinegar for almost over a month, and to make my own like cleaning multi-purpose cleaner. And I've been using that because I ran out of regular multi-purpose cleaner for like the kitchen and stuff. So I've been using that. I have normal multi-purpose cleaner for my business. I have a housekeeping business too. That's what I do part-time. But so I have a regular cleaning solution in my bag, but for the house and for the kitchen I have the lemon vinegar. So anyways, I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm not gonna bore you with sitting there and crumbling all of this, because I think for the sage I need 2 tablespoons. Let's see what the recipe is real quick here. 2 tablespoons of dried sage, 4 teaspoons of dried thyme, a tablespoon of marjoram dried, a tablespoon of salt, which I use Redmond real salt, 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary, half teaspoon of onion powder, and a half teaspoon of garlic powder. And then the recipe has 2 teaspoons of black pepper and a tablespoon of dried lemon peel. And I'm not doing the lemon peel or the black pepper because I want to be able to control the pepper flavor based on what I'm using. So I could do that with the salt too, but a tablespoon of the salt in there is, I'll just have to remember that there's salt in there. And then what I'll do is I'll just blend it all in the Ninja blender into a powder. And then I'll show you real quick what I'm trying to replicate here. So this is the stuff that I'm trying to replicate. I'm sure it's backwards, but yeah, it has thyme, sage, marjoram, rosemary, black pepper, and nutmeg. And I don't like nutmeg in anything, so I'm not adding nutmeg, that's for sure. I don't even think I could smell it in here, but no, I can't. I can't smell the nutmeg at all. So, and I'm not going to research a bazillion recipes to find one for nutmeg. I mean, I have it, but just to put it in there when I don't want it in there. So anyways, that's all I have of this little container. And now that I have all the components to do my own, I'm going to make my own. There's no preservatives in here, of course, but that's fine. Anyway, so like I said, I'm going to get after taking these all down to where I can put them in the grinder. You know, I might try not even pre-crumbling them. I have to take the time off the stems, but the sage, I don't think I'm going to do that. Oh, and then the oregano is not part of, is it part of it? Did I just say oregano? No, no oregano. I didn't think so. But the oregano is dry, and then I'll just get it crumbled and put in the jar that I have for that too. That way, like I said, if a frost kills it, then I have some until I can grow it again next year. So as I just was taking the time off the twigs, I just realized that the poultry seasoning blend did not show the onion or garlic powder that was on the recipe. And I was like adding that myself. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to even eliminate that. So I'm just going to use the measurements for the sage, thyme, marjoram, and rosemary, and that's what I will grind up. And then when I go to use this, because I use this on our roast chicken, I think I mentioned in the last video, for the roast chicken that I know is going to be left for savory and not to be used for anything else, like Mexican dishes or Mexican soups, those types of things, more savory dishes, and for the carcass to go in for the bone broth, then I'll use this, or I'll end up using this after this is gone. And then when I know that a recipe is going to be used for Mexican dishes, what I do is I don't put anything but olive oil, salt, and pepper on the chicken when I roast it or put it in the crock pot. Haven't done them in the Instapot yet, and I don't do them on the Traeger because of the smoke barbecue smell. I don't want that for my bone broth either. So when I know I'm going to be using the chicken for many different things other than just having roast chicken for dinner, then I'll just do the olive oil, salt, and pepper. That way I can still make bone broth with it. If I stick like Italian seasonings on it, then I don't want that in my broth. So I will just use the Italian seasonings in the dish for it, like a chicken parmesan, or let's see what else. I guess that's just it. Sometimes I fry up chicken like in some olive oil and do Italian seasonings and then use that with pasta. Put it on top of pasta, but not really breaded, just like pan fried. So yeah, so I just thought I'd go in there and clarify that that's the change I'm going to make. Just real quick, the recipe called for 1 tablespoon of dried marjoram. Look, that's exactly what I have. So that kind of worked out. It's even just a little under, but yeah, I'm going to call it. It's fine, but I'm glad I picked what I picked because that's what I got. So this is the Redmond's real salt. I know it's backwards, but this is what we use. I'll link them down below, and then I just get the refill pouch from their website, and then I just keep my salt cellar filled. When it's empty, of course, I wash it because from cooking and touching it with hands, it gets all the fingerprints all over it. But anyway, so I went ahead and I just put everything in a little ramekin here that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to blend it in my little Ninja blender and see what it looks like and get it as close to what's in the jar as possible. If it's not perfectly, I don't care. I'm still going to use it. But anyways, I was also thinking that for people that grow all of these things and they always have an abundance, a friend of mine, Kyle Race over at Schofield Farms on Instagram, she has like 2 huge plants. So when I offered her seeds this year, she kind of laughed. But anyways, if you have people in your lives that you don't know what to give them and they love to cook, is you could make a little jar of this. I'll show you when I put it in a jar. But you could make a little jar of this and give that to them as a nice little gift. I remember as a kid not liking the homemade gift thing just because it always brought up memories of stuff that I didn't want, or people crocheted things with horrible colors. Anyways, sometimes kids can be unappreciative, but nowadays I'm all for it. just because there's, I mean, yes, it is very commercial, but I think if you take the time to think about a particular person, set this down. And if you do have to buy some of the items from the store to go with it, like some of those wreaths that I'm gonna make. I mean, yeah, some of them are from the thrift, some parts of it from the thrift store, some are gonna be from the yard, some are gonna be from Dollar General or whatever. But to make a cute little item that you can give to someone as a gift or a homemade gift, plus I make, the jams and jellies and all that type of stuff. But on the pizza sauces, what I could do is I could make like a pizza making kit for someone. That would be a cute idea too. I just didn't get enough sauce made. I'm hoping those tomatoes, the Roma tomatoes out there, that those bushes are loaded. So I hope they make it before they freeze, because they're not even turning yet. If they were starting to turn, I would go ahead and pull them and let them ripen inside. Because once they start to turn, that's when the flavors happen. When you ripen them without them turning, that's why I talked about this before. The store-bought ones taste blah, is because they're picked green. So, which I get for commercial, got to feed the people. But if people realize they could get them from farmers markets or a friend of theirs that has extra, I mean, I'm all about asking people, hey, do you have extra this year? Or, I can offer you this for this. So, sideways or segue into something else, but a friend of mine are going to trade some fire cider that she makes, and when we had our steer butchered, I got the organs, and so we're gonna do a little trade there. That's what we should be doing anyways, guys. Anyway, so I'm gonna get back to this. I'm kind of got off topic there, sorry about that, but I'm gonna get after this and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, it's all done. Turned out, I mean, pretty powdery. I'm satisfied with that. And I'm going to go ahead and use a bigger jar. The one I'm talking about was, one of the little guys that you use to, like, for gift giving or whatever. I think they're 1/4 pints. This is it's a jam and jelly. I think these are 6 ounces. It doesn't say. But anyways, I'm going to use this size jar only because I'm going to finish making more of this. I'm just doing this for video purposes. And then this was a little hack that I saw years ago. This is back when I bought regular salt from the store. But you trace the lid of your mason jar, and see if I can do this. And then it's your own little pour. So yeah, you just cut off the top of that salt container. Like I said, measure, trace that out, and then cut it out, and now I have that. I mean, I can always just stick the tablespoon in there too, but sometimes if I'm using this for multiple things and I don't want to turn around and take whatever it was, I don't want to rinse it off, I'm busy cooking, I don't want to sit there and take it that had something else on it and put it in there. So what I'll do is just pour this in there and then put it in there in the whatever I'm doing, because what was already used for this has already been put in the pot. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, so neat little thing, came in handy. And then I'm not going to write on this because I want to be able to reuse it, but I'll just make a little label that says poultry seasoning on the year. So I'll go through it before it goes bad. Although that little container I haven't used. I'm going to probably use the fresh stuff first because doesn't say there's any preservatives in there, but I kind of want to use mine. So that's what I'll do. So that little ramekin did probably 1/3 of that jar. So when I have enough here I could probably make 2 more of these whole jars, or make those little gift jars. I might do that. And I might make a little short if I do that. But anyways, yeah, so that ramekin did to there. So I'm going to get this mess cleaned up. I'm going to fix me some breakfast and tackle this to-do list that's, I've got quite a few things done off of here, but I made it for the weekend. That way I didn't do it per day and then felt defeated that I wasn't getting my daily to-do list done. So I figured if I can't get this stuff done in 3 days, 3.5 days, I'm working Monday because of the because of Thanksgiving. So, and that's only part of the day. So I'll still have time when I get home to work on what I don't get finished. But anyways, I'm going to get this mess cleaned up and, like I said, fix me some breakfast, and stay tuned. I'll show you just a few glimpses of me sewing on that other pillow sham, just because I'm not a professional seamstress at all. Like I said, I had no pattern on this. I basically traced my old, or the pillow sham that was on there, and used that as a guide. So I'm gonna just get that kind of stuff finished. But I'll show you a few things as I'm going along, just because it took 4 hours yesterday. But that was, like I said, figuring out what I was doing the measuring, the gathering. If anyone sews, they know the gathering takes forever. I had considered up to this point making my own dust ruffle, because I want to change some things in the room, get out of that gray and white buffalo check. I want to get into a little bit more of something that might not be really a fad. I won't say this is a fad, but kind of. But anyways, I want to make my own dust ruffle because I haven't found one that I like. And if I find one close to it, it's a lot of money. Which material is money, but if I can make one out of the pattern or material that I do want, then that would be worth it. And I think that gathering process is a lot different. I'm hoping. That took forever just for that pillow sham. But and again, I got off onto different subject. But so stay tuned, and I will see in a little bit when I'm working on that. And then later tonight I'll show you when it's on the bed. So hang tight. Real quick, I wanted to pop on here. I was going to make we have a family member that's kind of under the weather, so I didn't have a chicken defrosted, so I do have canned chicken. This next year I hope to make my own canned chicken. So we'll see about that. But I have this because I make a keto pizza crust with these. So, but anyways, like I said, the family member's under the weather, so I'm going to use some of our chicken broth, and then some of this poultry seasoning to make a small batch of chicken soup. But I also wanted to say real quick that the dehydrator, I love the dehydrator. I had considered, we've looked at the freeze or the Harvest Right freeze dryers, and they're pretty pricey. I mean, they're really pricey. And I was going to start just saving up some extra money, or, you know, intentionally saving up for it. It was going to take me a while, but recently on Instagram, I've been seeing a lot, I mean, not a lot, but enough people having problems that, you know, one gal has never got to use it, you know, and she had to save for it too. So, and has still never got to use it, and is not getting refunded. So, I know there's other freeze dryers out there, but to me that just means I'm going to wait. I'll still continue to use the regular dehydrator, and we'll just go that route. So here's my kitchen mess. It's just chicken soup, like I said, so mirepoix, onion, celery, carrots, garlic. I have a little bit of the wide noodles, like I said, chicken broth. I'm going to do the poultry seasoning, the canned chicken breast, and I'm going to call it good. It's coming from the heart. So, and I'll throw in some lemon lime soda. 7-Up is my preferred when I don't feel good. And then some crackers, and hopefully that'll give them a meal and, you know, some comfort, and know that someone took the time to do that for them. So I always say on here about being kind to others, and that's exactly what I mean. It's not taking me very long to throw this together, and it's gonna be one less meal they have to make while they don't feel good, and they know it came from a good heart. So, and it doesn't all have to be from scratch. So, I mean, like I said, canned chicken breast. Anyways, so like I said, I just wanted to pop on here and talk about those things for a minute or so. So what I'm doing here is I already did the gather strings, and now I'm just doing the hem, and then this will be the ruffle that will get attached to the outside of the top piece of fabric. So like I said, I'm not going to show the world my sewing techniques, but anyways, I just thought I'd show you a little bit here. Okay, so I got the ruffle put on, and now I'm just sewing in that inlay that I'm talking about that I showed on the other one. So this is where we're at. I think I've done more talking than I've done sewing today. My poor mother-in-law hasn't gotten anything done. So anyways, so I will show you when I'm all done. Okay, here's the finished product, and I'll show you when I get it home and get it on the pillow and what it looks like on the bed. Okay, there they are. They don't look as cute on camera as they do in person, but they are super cute. And when I get all the other Christmas decor up, then it'll be wonderful. Anyway, so that project, long time I've been wanting to do, is done. So I think this is probably going to wrap up this video. And then next week I will be sure to have more DIYs and hopefully some stuff outside. So please remember to always be kind and do what makes you happy. See you on the next one.